Right. Uh, Good evening. I think this is the very first time I'm speaking for you all guys because I was not there to start the IELTS when it was starting the IELTS classes. So this is the very first time I'm meeting you. So welcome you all for the IELTS speaking class. From today itself, I'm gonna conduct this IELTS speaking class, right? So because of that, I'd like to introduce myself for you. Maybe you all know about my name, right? So I'm Sachitra. You can call me Sachi. So I think that you know my current condition, right? So I had my delivery like 1 month before. So I'm with a small baby now. So because of that reason, I had to take a 1 month leave unexpectedly 2 weeks before that actually. So I was expected to have just only the October, but because my due date was October 7th, but unexpectedly the baby came out like just 2 weeks before. So my delivery was on September 20th, right? So because of that reason, had to stop doing all classes for a 1 month, and so now I'm back in classes, right? So till now, your classes have been done by Mr. Namal. Namal sir තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ classes conduct කරගෙන ගියේ මම වෙනුවට IELTS speaking class එක. So from today, it's in my hand. Yes. Right. Okay. So I got an update from the sir. Congratulations. Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Shanika. Thank you very much. So before starting the class, actually, I have to say this thing. Yesterday I started some other classes as well. So before starting my lesson, I have to give this message for you. Right. So here I'm not in Sri Lanka. You know about it, right? I'm not in Sri Lanka. I'm currently living in UK. So my husband's mom is here, but no one other than that. And she's leaving next Sunday. So from next Sunday, when I'm doing the next class for you, there's no one to look after my baby. It's only me and my husband is there. But the husbands, I don't know whether he will be capable of looking after the baby for like 2 hours. I don't know. So because of that reason, I will have some ups and downs when I'm doing the classes, right? Other catalog na husband ge amma inna ya bala ganna, but next Sunday mama ugalana class එක කරනකොට එයා ගිහිල්ලා ඉතින් බබා බලා ගන්න කවුරුත් නැහැ. උගලන් තේරෙනවා ඇති මාසෙක බබෙක්ව බලා ගන්නකොට ගොඩක් අර නේ අපි මමත් තාම හුරු වෙන ගමන් I'm a new mom and he's a new baby, so we are adjusting to for our routine. So ඒ නිසා ඒක නිසා සමහර වෙලාවට මට මයික් එක ඕෆ් කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙන වෙලාවල් එන්න පුළුවන්. වීඩියෝ එක ඕෆ් කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙන වෙලාවල් එන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒක පුළුවන් තරම් අඩු කරගෙන කොහොම හරි ආව calm down කරලා ඒ පැය දෙක කොහොම හරි තියාගෙන කරන්න මම full try එක දෙනවා, but things happen. දේවල් සිද්ධ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. unexpected දේවල් බලාපොරොත්තු නොවුණු විදිහට මගෙන් ඇහැරෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොනවා හරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එයාට control කරගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේ වෙලාවට මට චුට්ටක් හෙට මෙහෙට වෙන්න වෙනවා. ඉතින් මම පොඩක් try කරනවා කරගෙන යන්න ස්මූත්ලි කරගෙන යන්න බලමු කොහොමද ඒක වෙන්නේ කියලා, right? මේ මැසේජ් එක මට මුලින්ම දෙන්න ඕනේ ඕගොල්ලන්ට. මොකද නැත්තම් එකපාරට මගදී මම මුකුත් කියන්නේ නැතුව මයික් එක ඔෆ් කරලා නැත්තම් වීඩියෝ එක ඔෆ් කරලා යන්න ගියොත් එහෙම ඕගොල්ලෝ බලයි මොකද්ද මේ වෙන්නේ කියලා. So ඒ නිසා මේ මැසේජ් එක ඕගොල්ලන්ට දෙන්න. I hope that you all everybody will understand, but by saying this I'm not making an excuse because you're paying for this 2 hours because නේද ඕගොල්ලෝ pay කරලා පැය දෙකක් ඉගෙන ගන්න ඇවිල්ලා මගේ ප්‍රශ්න නිසා ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ කාලය වේස්ට් කරන්නේ නැහැ. මම පුළුවන් තරම් try කරනවා. බැරිම වුණොත් give up කරන්න සිද්ධ වෙයිද දන්නේ නැහැ. but give up කරන්න කලින් මම try කරන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියලා බලන්න. හරි? ඒ නිසා මේකට පොඩක් excuse කරන්න කියලා උන මම කට්ටියකින් ඉල්ලනවා. Right? So fine. Okay. So now from today, you're starting your second month in the IELTS speaking class. So I hope that you have worked with Ms. Zanamal and you have already finished the first part of the speaking. So let me recap about the speaking English. I mean, like IELTS speaking part. So when you participate for the IELTS exam, yes, you have to participate for the speaking test as well. Yeah. So in the IELTS speaking part, you have to answer for like around. It will take like 15 to 20 minutes. It will take around 15 to 20 minutes. So we have three sections here in IELTS speaking. The introduction part, which we call part one. And for the part two, we have a separate name that's called the cue card questions. And then we have the third part called discussion. Right? So what we are going to do, what I'm going to do is actually for this month, I'm going to focus onto the cue card question. So I believe that now also has already introduced about the cue card question. Am I correct? ඔගලන්ට cue card questions කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා idea එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා මම හිතනවා සර් එක start කරන්න ඇති කියලා. මං හරිද වැරදිද? Do you have an understanding about the cue card question? Yes, miss? මං හිතන්නේ මිස් yes කියලා වෙන්න ඇති කිව්වේ මට හරියට ඇහුන්නේ නැහැ. Yes, I think that he has covered a part of the cue card questions, right? But yeah, as I'm starting the class, so I thought that it's better to start. Cue card started. Thank you. Thank you very much for answering me. I really like if you could answer my questions. If not, I'm feeling like I'm just speaking to a device. No one is listening to me, so I feel like isolated. Yeah, අපි අපි කාටත් අමාරුයි ඉංග්‍රීසි කතා කරන්නනේ. අපි කාටත් අමාරුයි. මුලදී අමාරුයි. අපි හැමෝම ක්ලාස් එකට ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ ඉගෙන ගන්න මොනවා හරි දෙයක්. So if you have any questions, if you have any doubts, so then we'll share our doubts. Because if you're not sharing, if we are not sharing our doubts or the questions or the issues that we have with the others, especially in a class, so how can we learn? නේ ඒතර ලර්න් කරන්න විදියක් නෑනේ සෝ අර මුලින්ම ෂයිනස් එක අඩු කරලා නේද ෂයි ලැජ්ජ බය නේද ඔය දෙක චුට්ටක් පැත්තකින් තියන්න ඕන ක්ලාස් එකට ආවම ඉතින් ඉගෙන ගන්නනේ අපි එන්නේ so when I was starting actually yes when I was starting speaking or learning English I was very terrible at English. I'm not saying that I'm superstar now in learning or the speaking English, but I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning because there's numerous things that we could learn. Because when I'm here in UK, I have learned quite a lot of things. Because we are not natives speaking. I mean, like, we are not native speakers. Yes, so our mother tongue is Sinhala, and we don't have actual environment in Sri Lanka to speak English or to practice it. So especially in spoken English classes, the teachers teaching the way that you have to talk with a bank, how to open a bank account, yeah, how to order foods in English. But normally we don't do it in practical, right? Because we have another substitute language. We have our mother tongue. We can do that with our mother tongue. So we don't have to go for the second option, isn't it? So therefore, we're not exposing very much to English most of the time. So because of that reason, yeah, because of that reason, we don't have the time, we don't have a proper place to practice our English. But unfortunately, now what we have to do, we have to, whether we like it or not, we have to perform in English in the test. So this is not actually spoken English class, but what we are doing in the class is just to practice. We're practicing how to answer for particular questions in IELTS test. That's what we are doing. So don't have a kind of a myth in your mind. Okay, so after participating for the IELTS speaking class, I'll be very fluent in English. Yes, it's not the whole English we are practicing. Yeah, just to answer for some questions in IELTS speaking, right? Okay, so if you know about the cue card question, so that's brilliant. Yeah, you have an understanding about the cue card. So here, what happen is, as you all know, the examiner will give a card for you. For that, actually, we call the cue card, and you'll get 1 minute to get prepared for the question. And so we have to speak for 2 minutes. Yeah, that's what happens in the test. So what we have to do within these 2 minutes, what we have to do. So what sort of questions come out for this cue card questions? So let's check out what's cue card and how to answer for these questions properly. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Um, yep. Okay. Right. So that's about the cue card. So we'll see what's cue cards then. Oh, all right. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the procedure. Yeah. So how this is starting. This is something simple, right? The examiner will introduce part two by saying like this, and the examiner will pass you the topic card and say, yes, here is your pencil and paper for making notes, and here's your topic. I'd like to talk about. And so then the examiner will tell the first sentence of the topic sentence. So after that, you'll get a 1 minute to get prepared for your question. So you can make any note, but within a 1 minute, we can make a note, right? After note, take a minute, so what we are doing is, yeah, I'll show you what we have to do within 1 minute, okay? Right. So before going there, yeah. So if you stop talking before 2 minutes, I'm in the fifth one, right? Yeah, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. So don't worry if I stop you. Can you start speaking now, please? So this is what happened. Don't stop before the 2 minutes finish. Talk until the examiner stops you. That's the very best thing. So if you can practice by yourself to talk for 2 minutes, so then you know, okay, now it's close to 2 minutes. I have to recap, or I have to stop speaking. If not, speak until the examiner stops you. Don't stop before he stops you, which means you're not covered 2 minutes. It's mandatory to finish 2 minutes in the cue card question. Because sometimes students may tell like, okay, I don't have any other ideas. I'll stop. Come on, that's terrible. Don't do that. Okay? So if you stop talking before 2 minutes is up, the examiner will pause a few seconds and then tell you, you still have some time if you want to add anything. It's really good you finish 2 minutes. That's a condition, that's a kind of a condition we have to fulfill in the exam. So if you're not fulfilling that condition, you won't get enough marks, right? Okay, right. So we'll move on to the next. Right, preparing for your answer. Now, once you get the question, what we do is identify the keywords in the question. So keywords are really important. Now, as you are participating for the reading classes, you know how to identify the keywords of a question brilliantly. Yeah. So I hope that you already know how to identify the keywords of a question. So same has to be applied here for the speaking. Yes. Once you read the question and identify the keywords of the question, so we know what we have to talk. So think about the tense required. Past tense, think means don't take much of the time to think, but just in a second, you have to think about, you have to get in touch. Okay, so this is a past or present or future. What is the appropriate tense to talk? Sometimes, yes, sometimes we have to get a mixture of sentences. Yeah, sometimes, but there's a major. So for example, like if you're talking about, so think that you get a topic to speak about childhood memories. So the major tense you have to take is past tense, but sometimes when we are talking about the childhood memories, sometimes we have to use a present perfect continuous as well. Some things are doing still now. So yeah. So maybe there's a mixture of sentence, but you have to think about the main tense to use there. All right. And then the third one is choose to talk about something familiar to you and that you have language to describe. That's really important. Yeah. Write down some key points. Write down some key vocabulary if you have the time for this. So you have 1 minute to get prepared for your cue card. So we have to effectively use this 1 minute to prepare for our question. So how to do this? Yeah, so we'll see. So there's a sample question like this. So they're asking from us, describe a place that you have visited that you particularly like. Okay, so if you have this question, what sort of words are the keywords that you identify? So they're asking a place. So place is a major word. So yes, that's a keyword. So then you can underline because you have a pencil. Yeah, so they're giving a pencil for you. You can underline. You can do anything for that, right? And you have visited. ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන. යන්න කැමති. ඒවත් අහන්න පුළුවන්නේ. You would like to visit කියලා අහන්නත් පුළුවන්නේ. So then therefore you have to talk about some kind of places where you would like to go. Maybe you have went there before, but also the question emphasize that a place that you would like to go, maybe a place that you have never visited before. Now, for example, you like to go France, Paris. Yeah. So you would like to visit. So then, yes, then you have never been to Paris before, France before. And so you're talking about that. Now here, the question asked from you, you have visited, which means we have to talk about our experience, which is from the past tense. The major tense has to be the past tense that you particularly like. Right? So major keywords, a place, have visited. ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන තැනක්. These are the two major keywords of the question. So then you will have some kind of these bullet points, A, B, C. Yeah. So when you visited there, who you went with, what was most memorable, and explain what you like most about this place. Now, when you get ready for this question within 1 minute, so you can think about an incident, right? Okay, so you have visited to Kandy, you have visited some botanical gardens for a zoo or a very nice place. Yeah, recently visit කරපු තැනක් ඔන්න ටක් ගාලා මතක් වෙනවා. So if you have that incident in your mind, you don't have to make notes about when you visited there. It's just a simple thing. Yeah, 1 month before. එහෙම මොකක් හරි කියන්න පුළුවන් ඒක මොකක් කිව්වොත් කමක් නැහැ. Past tense again. 1 month before, 1 year ago. So yeah, whatever the place. Who you went with. You can say relatives, friends. So that's not something to make notes about. And what was most memorable? Okay, so what was most memorable? ගොඩක්ම ඇයි මේක වට මතක තියෙන ට්‍රිප් එකක් ගමනක් නෑම නැතරම් ප්ලේස් එකක් වුණේ ඇයි කියලා නෙහන්නේ. So then okay, so then yeah, so I have visited with my parents recently, and that was memorable because it was a family trip. Maybe a reason to make it memorable. Yeah, so then you can make a kind of a line, full sentence ලියන්න අපිට time නැහැනේ. word එකකින් family trip එකක් friends light එක්ක ගියපු නිසා තමයි ඒක funny memorable place එකක් විදියට පත් උනේ. Okay, right? And explain what you like most about this place. Okay, so then you have to අනොය අන්තිම කැලේට පොඩි වචන ටිකක් ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන් නම් why the environment එක නිසා environment එක calm, beautiful, what else? Why we like for some kind of places because it has good memories with you. Ne memories තියෙනවා ලස්සනයි තැන ලස්සනයි හරිම නිදහස් තැනක් නේ ඒ වගේ එක reasons තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. So make a list of things like that, so then you have many more facts to tell about the place. If not, so you don't have to make notes for each and every point, but just make some notes or write some words specially for the ones you need. But if you have some time, if you feel like you have the time, so then you can make notes for other things as well. Like what? Like this. When you went there, okay, 4 months before, yeah, for 4 months in 2013, in the summer, Who you went with? Okay, so I went with a friend who is from Vietnam. He was a vegetarian guy, and he was a brother. His brother was an artist. What was memorable? Lots of cool places to visit, such as Fisherman's Wharf and Alcatraz Island. What you like most? Multicultural people, great restaurants and cafes, relaxed lifestyles. So we don't have much time to make such a note like this. මෙහෙම ලස්සන නෝට් එකක් ගහන්න අපිට වෙනාවක් නැහැ. විනාඩියක් ඇතුළත. නමුත් if you can make a note like this, so then you won't stuck. Or stuck වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මදදී කතා කරගෙන යනකොට. Isn't it? Right. Okay. So we'll try something now. Now, can you remember the question? Yeah, this is our question. A place visited and also a place that you really like. Yeah. So these are the keywords of the question, and you have some um parts to cover. When, who, what like most, why you like it most. Right. If you have a paper with you, if you have a note with you now, you can make some notes. යා අපි පොඩි නෝට් එකක් දාගමු. Now remember දැන් මතක් කරගන්න බලන්න. කට්ටිය ළඟදී ගිය ගමනක් ගැන. මම නම් ළඟදී ගියේ කොහෙද? For me, we went for a hospital තමයි මේ දවස්වල නම් යන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. hospital එකේමයි appointments තියෙන්නේ. But before the delivery, where we went. Yeah, we went to London actually because as I said, my husband's mom is here, so we have to, yeah, we thought that we have to take her to the London city to see everything. So yeah, it was London city for me. Yeah. So අන memorable එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඉතින් ගිය අවුරුද්ද මේ කාලේ ලංකාවට ගිය එක තමයි memorable එක. So we were planning actually. We were planned to come to Sri Lanka for this November, but we couldn't. Right. Okay. So think about a place you visit. ඔයාලා ගිය තැනක් මතක් කරගෙන පොඩි note එකක් අපි දාගමු මෙන්න මේ වගේ. We all කට්ටියම කවද්ද ගියේ? කාත් එක්කද ගියේ? ඇයි memorable? ඇයි ඒකට කැමති? Well, notebook එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ළඟ paper එකක් තියෙනවා නම් චුටි note එකක් දාගන්න so it will easy for us to speak. I'll give 2 minutes. Okay. So what I'm asking you to do is to make some notes about a place that you recently you visited. Actually, you particularly like that place. So when you went there, who you went with, why you are saying that was really memorable, and what you like the most. All right. Okay, so I hope that you make the notes. So we'll see to how to say all these informations in a proper way of an answer. Okay, right, right, yeah. So it's for San Francisco. This is an answer about like that. San Francisco. We'll see how to tell it. Right. So introduce your answer, rephrasing the question and directly answering it to show you clearly understand the question, right? Okay. So now, first of all, when we're answering for a cue card question, so it's better to introduce our answer in the first sentence. So now here you can say, well, a fantastic place I went to is San Francisco in California, right? So, yeah, that's just an example. So, well, a fantastic place I went to is San Francisco in California. So, from the first sentence, you can answer for the question and also you're introducing it. And also you can use some of the phrases when you change the topic. So I went there with the thing I remember the most is some of the things I enjoyed. So these are some of the phrases uh, to use when you start answering for different questions. දැන් අර ABC කියලා වෙන වෙනම parts වගේක් තියෙනවනේ අපිට. I went there with the thing that I can remember well. Why that place, why that particular place was really memorable for us. So like this, likewise you can start your answer, right? Yeah. Okay, so you can see a full answer from here. I think that you can see it. Yeah. So you see the first sentence. Well, a fantastic place I went to is San Francisco in California. It's definitely the best holiday I ever went on. So it's a place I'll never forget. So that's the topic sentence or the introduction of my answer. Yeah, so I'm starting with the word well. We can use some of these words to start our answer. Well, honestly, නේ ඒ වගේ චුටි වචන තියෙනවා අපිට answer එකක් start කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම ඔය වචන ටිකක් ඔයගලන්ටත් දෙන්නම් tute එකකින්, right? Okay, so we're starting our answer like, well, a fantastic place I went to is New Orleans. So it's definitely the best holiday I've ever went to it. So it's actually a place I'll never forget. Yeah, so like that it doesn't has to be the exactly the same words you have to use like මේකේ තියෙන මේ වචනම පාවිච්චි කරලා ඔයගලන්ට කියන්න කියලා නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ, but just take this one as an example. Yeah, so we'll take this one as an example so then we could build up our sentence. So if it is really, really hard for us to speak in English, so what we have to do is take some examples and build up some sentences according to the අර ආන්සර් එකක් සාම්පල් ආන්සර් එකක් අරගෙන ඒකේ තියෙන දේවල් අරගෙන අපේ වචනත් දාලා වෙනස් කරලා අපිට ආන්සර් එකක් ගොඩනගාගෙන අපිට ওই විදිහට තුන හතරක් කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් ඉබේටම අපේ words අපේ pronunciation එක අපේ sentence style එක අපිට එකපාරට එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ එන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. හැබැයි මුලින් start කරනකොට we feel it's very difficult, it's very hard කියලා අපිට තේරෙනවා. It's normal. It's really difficult to start something, isn't it? So, for example, if you're thinking that you have to start a diet, the first day, the second day, the first week is the hardest because we were used to do something different before. But then what we are planning to go for another aim. So then what we are going is we are changing. We are changing every bit of our the habits that we used to do. So if you're thinking of going for a diet, so then before you're going for a diet, you used to take some more calories, like sweets, what we call the kind of the juices. නේ අපි වර මොනවද කියන්නේ මේ අපි කිව්වක කොකා කෝලා වෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද? මොනවද ඒවට කියන්නේ? මොන ඒවා කියලාද? fuzzy drinks, right? Fuzzy drinks. So ඒ වගේ දේවල් අපි අරගන්න පුරුදු වෙලා හිටපුවාම අපිට එකපාරට දැක්කාම කණ්ඩම හිතෙනවා. කණ්ඩමයි ඕනේ. පොණ්ඩමයි ඕනේ. දැක්කාම ඉන්න බෑ නලියනවා. හරි අමාරුයි ඒක කරන්න. නේ? කන්නම නැහැ කියලා ඉන්න හරි අමාරුයි. චුට්ටක් හරි කාලා බලන්න හිතෙනවා. So it's very hard to start something. But you know, when you get used to skip that kind of habits, that's really easy to go for your aim. So like the same way, when you're learning English, when you learn to do something in English, it's very hard to do it first because we have some problems in our I mean like mental problems උත් අපිට එනවනේ. English කතා කරන්න අපිට මට බෑ කියලාම අපි හිතන්නේ. මට බෑ කතා කරන්න, මට වචන නෑ, මට grammar නෑ, අරක නෑ, මේක නෑ. So yes, ඒවත් එක්ක හරි අමාරුයි අපිට මොනවා හරි දෙයක් start කරන්න. But if you start something, පටන් ගත්තොත් කොහොම හරි අල්ලගෙන නෑ මම මේක කොහොම හරි කරනවා. කවුරු hina වුණත්, කවුරු මොනවා කිව්වත් මට කමක් නෑ. මම මේක කොහොම හරි කරනවා කියලා. So it's fantastic, right? So if you think like you have to do this, now you guys already decided to do the IELTS exam. Yeah, and so that's why you're paying us and coming to the class because you all need to do the IELTS test, and I believe that most of you need above 7. 6.57 ස්පීකින් වලින් අචීව් කරගන්න ගන්න ඕන කට්ටිය තමයි ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ක්ලාස් එකේ ඉන්නේ කියලා මම හිතනවා. So if you want to achieve 6.5, more than 6.5, more than 7 in speaking, so we all have to be very perfect in our speaking. Pronunciation of the words, vocabulary, tenses. So, you know, do you know the criteria of this exam? IELTS speaking එකේ මොනවටද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මාක්ස් හම්බ වෙන්නේ කියන එක ගැන දැනුවත්ද ඔයගොල්ලෝ? Do you know the criteria, the 4 criteria? Yes or no? For what you get marks? මොනවටද ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මාක්ස් හම්බ වෙන්නේ? Anyone can tell any answer.
Pronunciation.
Well done. Yeah, pronunciation. Okay.
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Well done, miss. Yes, vocabulary. So yes, okay, vocabulary, pronunciation. What else? So I got a message. We'll see what is that. Lexical resources, which means the vocabulary. Well, good. Well done. Yeah. Okay. Well done. Hari, ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා. So yes. So special, as you have mentioned vocabulary. So what should have to be the vocabulary? So if you are speaking in English, then අපි English වලින් කතා කරනවා නම් yes, the English words has to be there. That's the vocabulary. No, that's not the vocabulary they are expecting from us. The type of the words you are using. If you are using more different words, I mean like collocations, idiomatic expressions, idioms කියලා කියන්නේ අපි idioms ඒ වගේ ලොකු range එකකට යනවා නම් vocabulary වල එතකොට තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ marks වැඩි වෙන්නේ. එහෙම නැතිනම් අපිට හම්බ වෙන්නේ අර margin එකේ තියෙන mark එක 5.5 6 වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But if you want to score 7, your vocabulary has to be really good. So, in your vocabulary, when you answer for questions, it's not just you're answering for the question, but also you're showing that you're very good in vocabulary. So, you're not repeating the same words again and again. So, you're using what? Some different words which are not very common in use. Ne? Fluency and coherence and pronunciation. Really good. Very good. Yes. Fluency. Fluency එක බලන ඕගොල්ලන්. Yes. So they are looking at your lexical resources, which mean the vocabulary. So you have to think about your vocabulary enough. If you're doing the IELTS exam, your vocabulary, English vocabulary should has to be what? Yes. වැඩි වෙන්න ඕනේ, increase වෙන්න ඕනේ. Okay, right. And then, yes, as you're saying, fluency. So what does it mean by fluency? Fluency කියලා කියන්නේ කාටවත් තේරෙන්නේ නැති විදියට බක බක කාලා කියන්න Vietnam and we shall about together. සමහර හිතනවා එහෙම නොතේරෙන්න කාටවත් තේරෙන්නේ නැති විදියට ඉංග්‍රීසි කියාගෙන යනවා මට සිරි මාර fluent යා කියලා. That's not the fluency they are expecting from you guys. That's not fluency, right? So fluency means you're speaking English effortlessly. And you're making long sentences or bigger sentence kata karna without making effort. What does it mean by effort? Effort එකක් ගන්නවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපි හිර වෙනවා වගේ පෙන්න. I went there with a chum of mine who is from Vietnam, and also we shared an apartment together. Because at the හිත කියන struggle කරනවා වගේ තේරෙනවානේ. So if you're showing for your examiner that you're not struggling when you're speaking the long sentences, if you're effortlessly speaking, so that's actually known as the fluency. So a good practice is really neat, a good practice, because if you're speaking initially in the speaking test, you won't make this out. We have to do multiple practice before going for the exam. So make it use, make it, take a better advantage of the class. So when the teacher or me, when I give the chance for you to speak, take that chance and try to speak something, even it is incorrect, even you don't have the vocabulary. If you can talk something in English, so that will be a good start for you. Okay, right. So that's fluency. And also you're saying, yes, coherence. Coherence means the flow of your speaking. So when we are speaking English, there has to be some kind of coherence. Cohesive words, we say. So especially when you're writing as well, they are saying that they are checking whether you're using such words. However, nevertheless, ඒ වගේ link කරන words use කරනවා. So as well in English speaking test, we have to use in the linking words. And grammar. Grammar means grammatical range කියලා තමයි අපි ඒකට කියන්නේ, which means what? Multiple types of sentences should be there in your speaking. Simple sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences. So sometimes students are speaking very nicely, but throughout the whole speaking, there's only the simple sentences. There's no any range of sentences. There's no any conditional sentences. There's no any other kind of complex, even like compound sentences. So as you're participating for the grammar class, so I think that you have a proper knowledge about the difference of simple, compound, and complex. මං හිතනවා ඔයගොල්ලන් grammar class එකට සහභාගී වෙන්න නිසා මේ simple sentence, compound, complex කියන එකේ අතර තියෙන වෙනස, ඒ sentence හැදෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා proper knowledge එකක් ඇති කියලා. හරි? So you have to use that in practically in IELTS speaking. So it's not really a better process. Yeah. If you're in the initial stage, so we have to practice a lot. All right. So everything has to be there like a fruit salad. So then you can score more. ඒක වැඩි වෙන්න grammar වැඩි වෙන්න vocab එක fluency එක වැඩි වෙන්න mark එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ලැබෙන ලකුණු වැඩි වෙනවා. If not, medium level එකේ තමයි ගොඩක් අය ඉන්නේ. So which means like 5 or 5.5. So we don't have to take 5.5, but we have to go for that 6.5, right? So this is an example. Okay, we'll say, right? So yeah, we started our answer right with the introduction, and so now I went there. So I'm starting my answer by answering for the first part. I went there in 2013 as second. So as I can remember, I can remember exactly the date, but I think it was roughly 2013, right? And for about 4 months during summertime. So I remember the climate was really weird at this time of year, as it got really foggy at about 4 o'clock every day. And also it was surprisingly chilly during the night. It was so uh, different, difficult. Okay, right. So the next one, I went there with. I went there with. So we're answering for the next part. I went. Who you went with? That was the second part to answer. I went there with a chum of mine. Which chum of mine means a friend. Yeah, a chum of mine who is from Vietnam, and we shared an apartment together. So I'm describing about him. Yeah, because yes, he's a vegetarian. So I also became a vegetarian during that time because it was really hard to cook the vegetarian and the other foods at the same time. So I have become a vegetarian at the same time. I had to give up eating some of my favorite foods like Syrian steak and lamb chops. We only ate veggies, and I remember eating a lot of pasta with shiitake mushrooms. I also remember his brother, who was a very talented artist. So then I'm coming up to the next. The thing that I can remember the most, which means we're answering for the next part, and they're answering why it become memorable. So I'm saying the thing I remember the most about San Francisco is that there were many cool places to visit. So if you're talking about Candy or about another place in Sri Lanka, so then you can tell. The thing that I can remember about this particular place, there were beautiful there were beautiful flower gardens, and it was a really cool place rather than my hometown. So, and also it is really a famous place for the tourists. So many of the tourists was there, and as the tourists are coming for this place, so the place give yeah the place the place the place gave very delicious food for us. Now here you say, yeah, which is really famous for its delicious seafood and so tough bread. Yeah, likewise. And then the other thing, some of the things I enjoyed the most of this place about San Francisco, with the different types of people and the easygoing, relaxed lifestyle they seem to be leading. So as well as that, there were many trendy places to hang out, and also some great restaurants and cafes. So that's actually an example of for this answer. So now if you have a small note, උගලංගා චුටි note එකක් දැන් තියෙනවා. උගලන් දැන් හදාගෙන තියෙනවා as I gave the time before. Now you have a small note about kind of the answers for the questions they have asked in the cue card question. Yeah. All right. So this is just a kind of an example. Also, I'm going for another tute. I'll stop share this part now, and then I shared this document with you guys, so I believe that you have this in your hands or අතේ නැතිනම් device එකේ හරි save කරලා ඇති. So, place description. So, what was our question? Yes, it was a place. So, when we answer for place descriptions, so this tute will help you to understand or to get some phrases. Okay? Yeah. Mm. Adjectives for describing places. So you see, some of the adjectives are there because when we are describing about the places, we have to know some adjectives to describe because describe කරන්න ගොඩක් කලාවට අපිට ඕන කරන්නේ adjectives නේ. නේද? විශේෂණ පද. Enchanting. As I can, so yes, so uh, someone is asking a question. So as you, right, okay, so this is actually a common problem. This is not your own problem, but also the same problem, kind of a common problem that you all have because, as I said before, in our workplaces, when I was working there, actually, yes, I was a teacher, so then I had the privilege, I had the opportunity to use English because I'm talking in English for my students. So most of our working places in Sri Lanka, yes, they don't have the opportunity to speak or to practice English, know any English words. If you're speaking English, so the others would look at you and oh, look at that. What's that? අර බලපල්ලකෝ අරට වෙලා තියෙන දෙයක් කියලා නේද? එහෙම අර කට්ටිය අපරහින් බලනවා නම් මම කියනවා ඉංග්‍රීසි වචනයක් කතා කරොත් තමයි අපේ කට්ටිය නිකන් මේ බලන්නේ අරෙන් මෙහෙන් කොනෙන් නේ එහෙම තමයි අපේ කට්ටිය but එහෙම කරන කට්ටියට කවදාවත් මේක කරගන්න වෙන්නේ නැහැ කොහොම හරි කරලා වචන දෙකක් හරි කරන කට්ටියට තමයි වචන දෙකක් හරි කොහෙන් හරි දාලා කතා කරගන්න මොන බාධාව තිබ්බත් try කරන කට්ටියට තමයි නේ කොහොම හරි කරගන්න පුළුවන් so she's asking actually so how I can overcome this problem. So there's nothing we could change in our workplaces. We can't blame on others. But also we have the need. අපිට තමයි අවශ්‍යතාවය තියෙන අපේ ඉංග්‍රීසි ටික හදාගන්න. So මේකෙන් ඉතින් එක එක විදි ක්‍රම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. එක දෙයක් තමයි ඔයාට තනියම කතා කරන්න කෙනෙක් නැතිනම් ඔයාට තනියම වෙච්ච සිද්ධි හරි දවසේ වෙච්ච සිදුවීම් හරි මොනවා හරි දේවල් ඔයාට හිතන්න පුළුවන්. but හිතන්නකෝ කවුරු හරි ඒ දේවල් ලියනවා කියලා අපි ඩයරි එකක් ලියනවා වගේ write කරලා අපිට speaking practice වෙන්න බෑ. ලියලා අපිට practice වෙන්න පුළුවන් grammar pattern එක නැත්නම් කතා කරන ඕන words vocabulary ඒක පොඩි influence එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් but speaking වලට ආවහම speaking means what? So when somebody is asked a sudden question, we have to answer it. So there's no chance of having much time to think about it. So if I ask a question from you, immediately after I ask the question, you have to answer me. So there's no any time to think about what's the grammar of this, what sort of the vocabulary I have to use for this question. Or make it a answer, මෙයා මේ ප්‍රශ්නය මේ tense එකෙන් මම මේකට මේ tense එකෙන් උත්තර දෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම කියලා හිත උත්තර දෙන්න අපිට time එකක් හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැහැ. So automatically that has to become. So speaking කියලා කියන්නේම අපේ mind එකේ සිද්ධ වෙන process එකක්. So we are learning. learn කරන ගමන් අපි පැටලි හරි කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. කතා කරන්න පුරුදු වෙන නම් කතා කරන්න ඕනේ. So this class, IELTS speaking class is a good platform to practice English. Other than that, what you have to do is, however, you have to spend some time for yourself to speak in English. තනියම හරි කවුරු හරි මෙහෙම ඇහුවොත් මම මේකට උත්තර දෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා තනියම හරි ඔයා ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්න ඕනේ. සහ ඔයගලන්ට ඕන තරම් apps කියන්නේ ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න තියෙනවා. මම රෙකමන්ඩ් කරන්නේ මම එහෙම app එකක් දාගෙන නැහැ නමුත් sorry මේ don't misunderstand me. Sometimes I'm yawning because ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවනේ midnight එක කියලා කියන්නේ it's not a night time for me, it's also a kind of a daytime for me because I'm waking up constantly because of the baby, so I have to feed her constantly. So every 2 hours, yeah, every 2-3 hours I'm waking up, so I'm so sleepy, I'm so tired. So don't misunderstand me, it's not about the class, but I'm sleepy. All right, so I'm so tired of this, so don't make it a problem. Okay, right? So yeah, what we have to do is actually, so always try to speak something, always try to read something. That has to be, however, කොහොමද ඔයා time එකක් spend කරන්න ඕනේ කතා කරන්න. මේ කතා කරන එක මුලින් ඔයා හදාගන්නකොට මේ time එක, දැන් හිතන්නකෝ ඔයා අද මොනවා හරි දෙයක් තනියම හරි මිර එකක් ගාවට ගිහලා හරි කතා කරා චුට්ටක් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් වුණා කියලා. බඩ ඔය ඊළඟට ආද කරන්න කියලා ඊළඟ දවස් දෙක නැතුව ඉන්නවා කියලා ඊළඟ දවසේ අපි 4th day එකේ 4 වෙනි දවස් ඔයා කරන්නකොට මට අර කතා කරපු එක අමතකයි. That happens because if you don't have the practice. පළවෙනි අපිට ඒක හොඳට ධාරණය වෙනකන් අපිට ඒක ඒ මයින්ඩ් එකේ හරියට ඒක process වෙනකන් අපි daily speak කරන්න ඕනේ මොනවා හරි දෙයක් ගැන. පොඩි දෙයක් ගැන හරි කමන්නේ පොඩි ඉන්සිඩන්ට් එකක් හරි කමන්නේ මොන එක ක්වෙස්චන් එකකට මොකක් හරි ආන්සර් එකක් චූටි දෙයක් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්න හැම වෙලේම මේක කරන්න ඕනේ ඒක 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 කරගෙන යනකොට ඔයගලන්ට ටික දවසකින් තේරෙයි okay now I feel like I'm better now yeah so වෙනදට වඩා ටිකක් ඉක්මනින් words යන ගතියක් ඔයගලන්ට ඊට පස්සේ ඔන්න තේරුම් ගන්නවා. ඒක වෙනකන් අපි තනියම හරි ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරන්නම ඕනේ. Speaking දවසට විතරක් speaking practice කරලා හරියන්නේ නැහැ. So daily you have to practice because this is a language. This is not a theory. Yeah. So if it's a language, always we have to practice the words, sentence structures. Yeah. So we have to speak the pronunciation. Everything is kind of a mixture here. So we have to do this. If not, it's really hard. Right? Right. So there you can, as you can see in the tude, some adjectives are enchanting, attractive, enjoyable, stimulating, cozy, quiet, vibrant, hectic. Neither. Hectic කියලා කියන්නේ කාර්යබහුලයි. හරිම busy කියන එක. Boring, boring, traditional, exhilarating, charming, and impressive. So, yeah, we'll see here. You're welcome, miss. Right, okay. So question analyze. Describe a place that your parent took you to. So make a අපි කලින් කතා කරපු එකමයි. Yeah, what sort of a place it was, how you got there, why your parents took you to there, and why you would or would not take your own children to this place. So we have to analyze the question first. And so then after that we can talk about, right? So here also in this tutor also I have placed some model answers for place description. So as you can see, I have underlined some of the words for you. The question asks, describe a place with a lot of water, such as a river, a lake, or an ocean that you enjoy visiting. So where this place was, what you did there, why you went there, who you went there with, and explain why you like this place. Right? And also a sample answer is there attached. Yeah. So when you're describing some places, you can use this vocabulary. So yeah. I would like to talk about a place where my family went on a vacation last summer. So first of all, get an introduction, and then after that, try to answer for separate questions. Where this place was, why you did, what you did there, likewise. Yeah. Yeah, so I've attached many questions and answers. Describe a quiet place. And also in this tude, the later part of this tude, you can see model sentences for place description. So the decoration style is classy and upscale. So when you're describing interior designs of something, so then you can use classy, upscale. Atmosphere is cozy and comfy. Comfortable කියනකට comfy කියන්න පුළුවන්. Cozy කියනකට නිකන් chilly කියනවා වගේ cozy කියන්න පුළුවන්. Food is tasty and flavorful. The service is hospitable and speedy. All orders can be serviced in 10 minutes. The hotel was designed and constructed by the architects from South Africa and took approximately 10 years to complete. Food prices are affordable. So now, if you feel like you're really, really low in speaking English, what you can ඔයගලන්ට start කරන්න පුළුවන් එක තැනක් තමයි loud reading කරන එක. දැන් මෙන්න මේ වගේ answers අරගෙන මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? Loud reading කරන්න. I can remember that when I was in school, actually, I started with the loud reading. Yeah, I started loud reading. So from there, actually, I thought that I can speak some kind of English. Though we are learning in English, actually, in our schools, we are not supposed to speak fluently in schools, especially if you went for a government school. Yeah, so if it is not a very really a famous school, නේද නිකන් කොළඹ වල තියෙන ලොකු ලොකු ස්කූල් එකක් නොවෙනවා නම් ඒක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ගවර්න්මන්ට් ස්කූල් වල ස්පීකින් පැත්තට දෙන අපොචුනිටි එක අඩුයි. ඉංග්‍රීසි බොහොම අඩුවෙන් තමයි උගන්වන්නේ සහ බොහොම අඩුවෙන් තමයි අපිට touch වෙන්නේ. And also most of the time students don't like to learn English in schools because it makes them uncomfortable. Yeah, maybe it's because of the way of the teaching, way the teachers teach. Alright. So උගලන්ට අමාරුම නම් ඉංග්‍රීසි කතා කරන්න start කරන්න මේ වගේ answers හයියෙන් කියවන්න පටන් ගන්න. කතා කරනවා වගේ කියවන්න. Right? To me, quiet places mean libraries. But I'm not going to describe the library at my university as I still haven't visited it yet. So what I'm going to describe the library at my higher school in Sydney. Our school is very large and it consists of 4 big blocks. මොකද සමහරවිට ඉංග්‍රීසි වචන කියවන්න හරි අමාරුයි. මොකද මේ ඉංග්‍රීසි වල ගොඩක් වෙලාවට sh නේද? ඒ වගේ sounds වැඩි. කියන sound එක වැඩි. ගොඩක් අයට ඒ sound එක එක දිගට කියාගන්න අමාරුයි. My school is very large and it consists of 4 big blocks. ඒතර sound එක වලට වැඩිපුර ඇහෙනවනේ. ඒක අමාරුයි touch කරගන්න. So ඉස්සල්ලාම එහෙමත් අමාරුයි නම් කතා කරන්න යන්න කලින් ඉස්සල්ලාම loud reading කරලා මෙන්න මේ English ටික කටට දිවට මේ අපි කියන අපි articulatory system එක කියලා. So we have to get used to English speaking first. So then therefore it's really it will make එක චූටි උදව්වක් වෙයි. ලොකු උදව්වක්, පොඩි උදව්වක්. එක එකනට එක විදිහට වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ගොඩක් අයට ලොකු උදව්වක් වෙයි ඉංග්‍රීසි කතා කරන්න යනකොට because හොඳට වචන ප්‍රොනවුන්ස් කරන්න පුළුවන් එයාට. right? ඒතර තුන් හතර පාරක් කතා කරනකොට ඔලුවට දාගන්න පුළුවන්. alright මේක මෙහෙමයි වෙන්නේ. අනික කියවනකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ sentence වල patterns අපේ ඔලුවට යනවා. අපි දන්නේවත් නැතුව. ඒත් අපිට වෙලාවකට හිතනවා නෑ ඒක නම් වැරදි මේක තමයි හරි විදිය කියලා. ඒක grammar ඉගෙනගෙනම නෙමෙයි. ව්‍යාකරණ ඉගෙනගෙන නෙමෙයි. නමුත් automatically අපි කියවලා තියෙන හුරුවට අපේ වචන එනවා මේක තමයි මේක කියන හරි විදිය. එහෙම කියලා. Yeah? Okay. So yeah. And ඒ ස්ටෙප් එක ඉංග්‍රීසි කියා ගන්න පුළුවන් මට්ටමේ කෙනෙක් නම් ඊළඟට මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ බලාගෙන කියවන්න පුළුවන් නම් try to say something in English. Even don't worry about the vocabulary first. Don't worry about the grammar first. නැත්නම් grammar ගැන worry වෙවි නැතුව try to speak about something. නේද? train එකක් ගැන, place එකක් ගැන. මේ IELTS කියන එක අමතක කරලා place එකක් ගැන. Okay, so I would like to talk about my hometown. My hometown is Kandy. My hometown is Kurunagala. It's a big city. Right? And එහෙම පොඩි sentences වලින් පටන් ගන්න. Yeah. So my city is not a very big city. My city is Kurunagala. My city is my city. The hometown Makive. Yeah. So the place that I live is Kurunagala. It's a very big city and also but it doesn't have a historical value because and also it is not a destination. It's not a very famous destination for tourists as it does not have very much places to visit. දැන් ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කරන්නේ චූටි sentences කිව්වට පස්සේ ටිකක් ඒක දිගට හිතන්න. ඒකට ගොඩක් tourist attraction එකක් නැහැ. මොකද ඒකේ බලන්න තරම් දෙයක් නැහැ. කුරුණෑගල කිව්වම tourist attraction එකක් නෙමෙයි. But if you're from Kandy, Anuradhapura, Kataragama, sorry, Galle, yeah, so then yes, you have some sandy beaches. So then you have the attraction of the tourists. So think about some other sentences and try to join those sentences together with some linking devices. ඉස්සලාම අර ඒ වගේ චුටි චුටි දෙයක් කතා කරන්න try එකක් දෙමු අපි. හරි. Right. So I would like to give you a chance actually. So I'm not asking you. So if you can make a speech above the cue card that I shared before, that's fantastic. But if you can't make it out, I'm asking for you to tell something about a a place that you would like to talk about. It may be your home, maybe your hometown, maybe it's your favorite place in the earth. they වගේ මේ මුළු ලෝකෙම තියෙන ලස්සනම යන්න ආසම තැන මොනවා හරි place එකක් ගැන. ඒක මොන වගේද, ඒක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ, ඒකේ මොනවද තියෙන special දේවල්. So if you can make like 5 or 6 sentences about the place, raise your hands. We'll start with the basic. We'll start with the basic. I'm not expecting too much of beautiful words from you, but I would like to hear some words from you. So what I'm asking from you is, think about a particular place. I don't mind if you're talking about your home place, your hometown. I don't mind. Yeah, just try to make some simple sentences first, and then we'll try to build up with longer sentences. Okay? Right. Okay, so I'm sharing this still. මේක ඔහොම තිබුණාවයි කමක් නැහැ. නමුත් අපි try කරමු speak කරන්න අපි මොන හරි place එකක් ගැන. හැබැයි ලියන්න එපා මුකුත් පොතේ. ලියලා practice කරන්න ගියොත් ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ. So, if you feel like confidence about yourself, වරදුනාට කමන්නේ. confidence කියලා කියන්නේ ආත්ම විශ්වාසය තමන්ගේ. ආත්ම විශ්වාසය තියනවා කියලා කියන්නේ ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න මම කරන්න ඕනේ මේක කියලා. එකෙන් කියවෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඔයා මේක හරියටම කරනවා වරද්දන්න නැතුව කිසිම වචනයක් වරද්දන්න නැතුව කතා කරනවා කියන එක නෙවෙයි ඒක. වරදව වටහා ගන්න එපා ඒක. හරි? So if you want to improve yourself, so I invite you to raise your hand and to make a word about a particular place you like. ඔයා කැමති place එකක් ගැන, ඔයා කැමති තැනක් ගැන වාක්‍ය කීපයක් කියන්න. කැමති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් අත උස්සන්න බලන්න. So I'm here to give a chance for you. Very good, miss. We'll wait until like 2 minutes වගේ තමන් චුට්ටක් දෙන්නම්. තව කැමති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවද කියලා බලන්න කතා කරන්න. Yes, we'll see. නැත්තම් ඉතින් නම කියලා කතා කරන්න තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඔක්කොටම ඉස්සලා තමන් ගැන විශ්වාසයක් තියාගන්න ඕනේ. මට මේක කරන්න පුළුවන්. මම මේක කරන්න ඕනේ. අවශ්‍යතාවයක් තියෙන නිසා නේද? ඔයාට ඔයා ගැන නේද? විශ්වාසයක් තියෙන. I can make it out. හැමෝටම පුළුවන් තමන්ගේ ගෙදර ගැන, තමන්ගේ නේද උපන් තැන ගැන, නේද? තමන් ගිය ස්කෝලේ ගැන මොනවා හරි වාක්‍ය කීපයක් කියාගන්න මෙතන ඉන්න හැමෝටම පුළුවන්. හැමෝටම පුළුවන්. අනිවාර්යෙන් පුළුවන්. කිසිම ඩවුට් එකක් නැතුව මං කියනවා හැමෝටම පුළුවන්. but ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න මොකක්ද ඕනේ? තමන් ගැන විශ්වාසයක් ඕනේ, confidence එකක් ඕනේ. Okay, so I have two. Okay, very good. I have three. Yeah, really good. I really, really appreciate you three, right? So first, I would like to give the chance to Miss Shanika.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, very good evening, Miss Shanika. Right. Okay, so what place you wanna talk about?
I would like to talk about the city Nuwara, which
Sure.
is located in the central province in Sri Lanka.
Yep.
As during my lifetime, I think I have visited several times there.
Mm-hmm.
The last tour to Nuwara was in May
Mm-hmm.
with my family members.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it was unforgettable because once in a blue moon,
Mm.
all of our family members will get together.
Mm-hmm.
So that day, it was the full day was rainy, like
Mm-hmm.
drizzling.
Oh.
So we had to stuck in the near the Gregory Lake. So
Mm-hmm.
we checked in a villa near to the lake,
Yep.
and we spent the whole day there. So there were very numerous breathtaking moments I experienced,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the blend of both the cool weather
Mm-hmm.
and the warmth from the hot coffee
Yep.
made me so relaxing.
Yep.
On the other hand, I was like overjoyed because all my family members were with me, sharing our experiences and some other unforgettable moments which we did in our childhood and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from Gregory Lake, I like most the botanical garden also,
Okay.
which is full of different variety of flowers as well as very endemic plants.
Yep.
It is a like a very rare experience one foreign or a local tourist can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. In
Wow, that
addition
was
to
really excellent, miss. That was beyond my expectation. You made it really nice. Yeah. Thank you very much, miss. It was really, really good, actually. Super, because I was not expecting this type of a speech because the words, the pronunciation, grammar, everything was really fine. Yeah, I'm really cool, really happy about you. You have a good journey. Thank you very much
thank
for
you,
speaking, miss. Yeah.
madam, thank you.
You're welcome. Right. Okay. That was really nice. Actually, when you're speaking like that way, you're making others motivating as well. Yeah. So if you can make out like this way, actually, you're making motivation for the other students. So when some of the other students are speaking, so the others also think, okay, I also want to talk like that way. So you're making a motivation for the others as well. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. So the next person is Miss or Mr. Veerasinghe.
Good evening.
Good evening, very good evening, Miss. So we'll start. So, what is your favorite place or the place that you're describing today for us?
I'm going to discuss.
Yes,
Shall I begin?
of course you can, Miss.
Yes. This is regarding the place I visited during 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I visited Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
As I remember, during I was in grade 9,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there with my team for a
Mm-hmm.
competition.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there were 52 countries participated for that competition,
Mm-hmm.
and within a hectic schedule, we went there Disneyland. So that was the thing I remember most. Remembering most place,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I can remember. As Sri Lankans, we didn't have Disneyland in Sri Lanka during
No.
those days. So
Yes.
I remember a lots of in my memory.
I think
Mm-hmm.
we went for movies.
Mm.
Those were the days the 3D movies came out. So I
Oh,
can
okay.
remember we wear some glasses and watching movies. And the actually we watched regarding something Disney cartoon.
Oh,
And
okay.
also there was we went through roller coasters and we went boat rides. The boat ride was they were uh, artificially made some elephants
Oh,
in the lake.
oh
So
my God.
uh,
Yeah, okay.
elephants were moving and some are wearing like ancient Africans and throwing arrows to us
Mm.
and
That's
like
amazing.
those things were there.
All right.
Yes, really amazing and fantastic. And also, uh, we went multiple places, and some people are wearing like Disney's, like dolls and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, like those kind of
Mm.
clothes. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like actual cartoons that we have watched in the TV. So I was like
Okay.
really enjoyed that place. I think that was the most memorable place I have went in my life.
Wow, that was really, really fantastic. I have never been to a Disneyland, even though I'm here. We don't have any Disneyland here, I think. Yeah, we don't have. So, but there's something is there's someone in Japan and France. They also have, but UK they don't have a Disneyland. Right, so I have never been to. So you're very lucky. Yeah, that was really fantastic, actually. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts about a place, actually. Yeah, it was really nice.
Thank you, Miss.
You're welcome, right? Okay, so then we have Miss Nirmala. Hello, Miss Nirmala, can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Good evening,
Okay,
madam.
good evening, very good evening, right? So, what place you gonna speak about?
I would like to Badul.
Oh,
Uh, I went on a trip to Badul few years ago
yeah.
with my family.
Uh-huh.
Um I went there with my family by train.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, on the way to Badul, the environment uh, is very attractive and enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so uh, waterfalls, uh, mountains, beaches, tunnels, and so many attractive places we can saw.
Mm-hmm.
We could see uh, we could see on the
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
Um, uh, we reached Badal at about 6:30.
Mm-hmm.
We stay we stayed uh, yeah, at Badula in night,
Mm-hmm.
and we visited Mutyangane temple.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and next day we visited also Dunhida.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very attractive place, uh, and I think it is most uh, memorable journey in my life because uh, I went with my kids. They also very happy about our journey.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, then next day uh, we came back by the train.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or was it a train journey to Badulla? Oh, wow.
yes, madam.
Wow, that I know it's amazing. I can remember before I'm coming here to UK, I visited Badulla as a train journey. Wow, it was a fantastic journey. I'll never forget that journey ever, ever again. So I do
Yes,
want to go a train journey to Badulla. Actually, Allah.
yes,
Mm,
madam.
nice. All right. So thank you very much, Miss Nirmala. Thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you.
thoughts about a
Thank you.
place. Really good. Okay, so is there another one who can who wants to share their thoughts about a place? No, no, it's not our today. It's not our day today. We'll make it another day. Is that what you are thinking about? All right, then I'm not forcing you, but yes, believe yourself. It's really hard. It's really hard to make it out. You don't have to be very fluent in English. අපි අපෝ ඒගොල්ලෝ කතා කරා වගේ අපිට හොඳට කතා කරන්න බෑ. එහෙම කියලා පස්සට වෙලා ඉන්න එපා. It's not like you're not comparing yourself with others, okay? So don't compare yourself. You are the person who are going to sit for the IELTS speaking test. No one else would come to save you. So you have to begin your journey by yourself. No one is helping at all like that. Okay? So, yeah, motivate yourself. Yeah, think about yourself, and so then you could make it out. If not, that'd be really uncomfortable. Okay, so you have some answers, and also yes. So in this tute, actually, I want to tell some of the descriptions are here. Descriptions of what some phrases, some sentences. So then you could read. Mama make a කියවන්න යන්නේ නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියව ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ words ඔක්කොම පාට කරලා තියෙන ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හරියට ඔළුවට යන්න ඕන නිසා, right? So this is about the place description, and so the adjectives needed and most of the words included here. All right, so I'll stop sharing this one, and then uh, right. Right. So we'll be move on to this vocabulary lesson, right? So yeah, vocabulary අපිට ඕනේ අපි කිව්වට කතා කරන්න vocabulary අපිට ගොඩාක් ඕන කරනවා කියලා. ඉතින් මම ඔයගලන්ට speaking vocabulary tute එකක් share කරා. මේක ළඟ තියනවා නම් හොඳයි. ළඟ නැත්තම් කරන්න පුළුවන් දෙයක් තියෙනවා. දැන් මේක ටියුට් එක කොහොමද ඔයගලන්ට එවලන්නේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මෙන්න මේ words ටික ඉගෙන ගන්න. ඒ ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට ඔයගලන්ට මම දීලා තියෙනවා මේ වචනවල meaning එක මොකක්ද කියලා English වලින්. ඒ වගේම දීලා තියෙනවා මොනවාද? example එකක්. එක example sentence එකක්. මේ ඉඩ තියලා තියෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට example sentence එකක් ලියලා practice කරන්න. දැන් සමහර මේ වගේ words වල සිංහල meaning එක දන්නේ නැති කට්ටියක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. So I'm going to discuss some of these words. ඔක්කොම නෙමෙයි වචන ටිකක් මම ඔයගොල්ලොත් එක්ක discuss කරනවාද. So this will help you to upgrade your vocabulary. Vocabulary, yeah. Okay, the first word is adventurous. Yeah, the first word is adventurous. මොකද adventurous කියලා කියන්නේ? I think everybody have heard about this word. Adventure එකක් කියලා කියනවා මොකක්කටද? Adventure එකක්. Adventurous movies තියෙනවා. Adventurous books තියෙනවා. නේ? So, මේක meaning එක දීලා තියෙනවා මෙන්න මෙහෙම. Willing to take risk or try out new methods, ideas or experience. අලුත් දේවල් ඉගෙන ගන්න. අලුත් methods, අලුත් ideas, අලුත් අත්දැකීම්. මෙන්න මේ මවිත කර මවිත කරත් නෙමෙයි අතරම නේද? මේ අලුත් දේවල් අත්හදා බලන්න කැමති කියන එක තමයි adventurous කියන එකේ අපි meaning එක ගන්න. So you have an example sentence like what? I've always been an adventurous person, so I enjoy trying new cuisines when I travel. So when you're explaining yourself, when you're explaining somebody else, තව කෙනෙක්ව විස්තර කරනකොට if you know that person is really willing to take risk, yeah, so then you can describe that person, oh, my uncle is really an adventurous person. So he's trying everything. He does not even think about his life sometime because he's accepting many challenges, many risks. So he is an adventurous person. Yeah, adventurous is the first word. So the second word is astonishing. Astonishing means extremely surprising or impressive. ඒකට අපි සිංහලෙන් කියනවා මවිතකර පුදුමාකාර කියලා කියන word එක. The view from the top of the mountain was simply astonishing. Yeah, so when you're explaining about a place, yeah, so this astonishing word can be helpful. Astonishing. මවිතකර පුදුමාකාර ලස්සනයි. මාර විදියට ලස්සනයි කියන එක. impress කරනවා අපිව කියන එක වගේ. So extremely surprising or impressive. Beneficial කියලා කියන්නේ benefit වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ උදව් වෙනවා වාසි සහගතයි කියන එක නේ beneficial. So resulting good favorable or advantageous වාසි සහගතයි කියන එක. Regular exercise is beneficial to both physical and mental health. Regular exercise is beneficial to both physical and mental health. Beneficial. It's beneficial for us to have good water intake. නේද beneficial වාසි හොඳයි කියලා කියන එකට අපි කියනවා beneficial. It's beneficial for a country to have a good government. It's beneficial to move for another country for having better education because it's really hard to have a good education here in our country. Beneficial. So it's a really good word. Right? The fourth word is breathtaking. So especially again, if you're describing a place and the place has a beautiful view, so then you are saying breathtaking. The sunset over the ocean was absolutely breathtaking. අපේ හුස්ම ඇද්ද බැඳ තබා ගන්නවා කියන එකට අපි කියනවා breathtaking. අපේ හුස්මත් අර ගන්නවා කියන එකනේ breath එක කියන හුස්ම කියන එකටනේ. Right. And the fifth word, what's the fifth word? So we pronounce that word like candid. Candid කියලා කියන්නේ අවංක සෘජු කියන එක. Truthful and straightforward. Frank. අවංකයි. Frank. Straightforward. සෘජු. Killing. She gave a candid interview about her experiences in the industry. Candid. The sixth word is conventional. Conventional means common කියන එක පොදු conventional ආවේනික අපි කියන ගතානුගතිකයි එහෙම නැතිනම් සාම්ප්‍රදායිකයි කියලා conventional. If not in simply we can say common conventional. So there's an example. He prefers conventional methods of teaching over modern ones. I would prefer conventional methods of teaching. Yeah, conventional methods, common, සාම්ප්‍රදායික අර පැවතන් යන විදියට මම හරි කැමති conventional method එක. I would prefer the conventional method over the modern ones, right? So we learn adventurous, astonishing, beneficial, breathtaking, candid, conventional. So we'll move on to the seventh word. It's crucial. Crucial කියලා කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වැදගත් කියන එක. Important, very important කියනවා වෙනුවට ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් use කරන්න crucial කියන එක. So it's crucial to prepare well for the IELTS exam if you want a high score. It's crucial to mention that. It's really important කියන එකට. It's really crucial. So හැම වෙලේම important කියනවා වෙනුවට so you can mention it's really crucial කියන එක. Right. The eighth word is deliberate. Deliberate කියලා කියන්නේ හිතාමතා කියන එකට. හිතාමතාම. Her decision to quit her job was deliberate, not impulsive. Done consciously and intentionally. හිතාමතා යම් දෙයක් කරනවා නම් අපිට කියනවා deliberate. She deliberately took that decision to quit her job. Diverse කියලා කියන්නේ වෙනස් කියන එක. Different කියනවා වෙනුවට අපිට diverse කියන්න පුළුවන්. London is known for its diverse population and culture. Diverse. So there are diverse methods of teaching a language for students. Diverse. All right? Okay. The 10th word is eloquent. Eloquent කියලා කියන අපි කියන elocution classes යනවා කියලා. Eloquent කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Fluent. හොඳට ලියන්න කියන්න අපි කියන චතුරයි කියලා කියන එක eloquent. So yeah. Yeah, he gave an eloquent speech at the conference. 11th word is enthusiastic. 11th, enthusiastic. කියලා කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? Enjoyable කියන එකනේ. හොඳට විනෝද කොහොමද ඒක සිංහලෙන් කියන්නේ විනෝදාත්මකයි විනෝදජනකයි කියන එක. Yeah, she's very enthusiastic about learning new languages. Enthusiastic. I'm not really enthusiastic of learning new things. Enthusiastic. Right. The 12th word is exemplary. Exemplary කියලා කියන්නේ ආදර්ශමත් කියන එක. Her exemplary behavior earned her a promotion. ආදර්ශමත්. Okay? Right. ඔගලන්ට ටියුට් එක ළඟ නැතිනම් නම්බර් එක ලියාගෙන ඒකේ මීනින් එක හරි ඒ අදාළ මොනවා හරි දෙයක් ඔයගලන්ට නෝට් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. It's so cold out here. අපිට දැන් ඇත්තටම winter season එක start කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් හරිම සීතලයි. So මගේ අපේ bedroom එක ගෙදර අනිත් පාස් වලට වඩා මාර්ම සීතලයි. දැන් ටෙම්පරේචර් එක ඇත්තටම අපිට 13යි. 13යි වුණාට I think feels like 11. 11 වගේ තමයි දැනෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ goosebumps උත් ආවා. මාර්ම සීතලයි කාමරය ඇතුලේ and I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm just wearing just a common t-shirt. So it's really, really cold out in the room. Okay. Enthusiastic. Oh, yes. The 13th word is fascinating. 13th. Yeah. Fascinating. Extremely interesting. Harima රසවත් කියන එකට අපි කියනවා fascinating. මේ සමහර words ඔයගොල්ලන් දන්නවා සමහර අය විතර නැත්නම්. Right. The 14th word is fluctuate. Fluctuate වෙනවා කියලා කියන්නේ උඩ පල්ලෙහා යනවා වෙනස් වෙනවා කියන එක. Rise and fall irregularly in number or amount. Yeah. මේ fluctuate කියන word එක ඔයගලන්ට හම්බ වෙනවා especially writing. ඔයගොල්ලෝ academic test එක නම් කරන්නේ IELTS. ඔයගලන්ට graphs වල දකින්න හම්බ වෙනවා fluctuate වෙනවා. amounts උඩ පල්ලෙහා යනවා irregularly. Irregularly කියන්නේ regular pattern එකකට නෙමෙයි irregular pattern එකට පොඩක් වැඩි වෙනවා. ඊළඟට තව ටිකක් වැඩි වෙනවා. ආයි පල්ලෙහාටම යනවා. අර irregular pattern එකකට උඩට පල්ලෙහාට යන එකට අපිට කියන fluctuate වෙනවා කියලා. So prices for oil tend to fluctuate depending on the season. And the 15th word is gratifying. Yeah, giving pleasure or satisfaction. සතුටක් ලබා දෙනවා කියන එකනේ. Satisfaction. It was gratifying to see my hard work paid off. Hypothetical කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Hypothetical කියලා කියන්නේ imagine කරගන්නවා කියන එක නිකන් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ නැති දේවල් based on or serving as a hypothesis. Yeah, let's consider a hypothetical situation where you win the lottery. අපි හිතමුකෝ ඔයා ලොතරැයක් දිනුවා කියලා. ඉතින් ඇත්තටම වෙලා නැහැනේ මේක. ඇත්තටම වෙලා නැහැ. එම දෙයක් ඉමෑජින් කරගන්න. hypothetical situations කියලා කියනවා. අපේ IELTS වලත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට hypothetical questions අහන්න පුළුවන්. මෙහෙම වුණොත් ඔයා මොකද කරන්නේ? වෙලා නැහැ එම දෙයක්. ඔයා ලොතරැයක් දිනුවොත් ඔයා මෙහෙම වුණොත් ඔයාට රටකට යන්න chance එකක් ලැබුණොත් කොහොමද යන්න තමයි try කරන්නේ. නම මේ එහෙම වුණොත් කියලා අපි වෙලා නැති සිදුවීමක් අරගෙන කතා කරනවා. So for that cool. Oh, hypothetical. I'm so hungry now. Sorry. Right. So 17th word එක ඇවිල්ලා inquisitive. Inquisitive කියලා කියන්නේ හරිම curious. ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න. ඔය පොඩි ළමයි ඉන්නව නේද? මාර inquisitive. මාර විදියට යාලා curious. නේ? අහනවා නිමක් නෑ ප්‍රශ්න සමහර. අරක කොහොමද මේක කොහොමද එතනින් ඒක මොකක් හරි එකට උත්තර දුන්නාම ඒකෙන් තව ප්‍රශ්න කෝටියක් විතර අහනවා අපෙන්. නේ? So they are really curious. So we call inquisitive. Innovative කියලා කියන්නේ innovative කියලා කියන්නේ එක නව අලුත් දේවල් හොයාගන්නවට අපි කියනවා innovative කියලා. Right? The company is known for its innovative approach to solving problems. Innovative. Right. The 19th one is integral. Integral කියලා කියන්නේ අවශ්‍ය කියන එක. Integral part. Necessary to make a whole complete. Essential. දන්නවනේ essential කියලා කියන්නේ අත්‍යවශ්‍ය. So integral කියලා කියන්නේ essential කියන එකට synonym එකක්. සමාන පදයක්. Right. The 20th word is intricate. Intricate කියලා කියන්නේ පැටලුම් සාගතයි කියන එක. Very complicated. Complicated. Right. The 20th word. Right. Right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give some minutes for you. Right. අපි 20th word එකට වෙනකන් බලාගත්තනේ. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some time to make some sentences. ඔයාලා මේ වචන 20න් වචන 20ක් අපි දැන් කතා කරන්නේ වචන 20න් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් වචන 10ක් තෝරගන්න. නෑ අපි කියමුකෝ වචන 5ක් ගමුකෝ. 5ක් 10ක් අතර ප්‍රමාණයක්. right අරගෙන බලන්න අපි try කරමු body sentences ටිකක් create කරන්න. ඔයාලට කැමති word එකක් select කරගන්න පුළුවන්. අරගෙන අපි පොඩි sentences ටිකක් හදමු බලන්න. So I'm going to give like around 10 minutes. Yeah? Okay. So we'll make some sentences. And actually the baby is crying, so I have to go and see whether she's okay. So excuse me for that one. So we'll see whether we can make some sentences. For this 20 words, you don't have to make 20 sentences, but we'll take 5 to 10 words. පහත් 10ක් අතර ප්‍රමාණයක්. Okay? Yes. Right. So we'll move on to the next word now. Sorry for the 10 minutes, right? Yes. Right. So we'll discuss the 21st word. 21st word, it's a lucid. Right. So lucid කියලා කියන්නේ lucid acid වගේනේ. So lucid කියලා කියන්නේ it means සිහි ඇති. යම් අර නේ. Express clearly, easy to understand. Easy to understand something. And so you have an example by saying he gave a lucid explanation of the complex theory. 21st word, the lucid. So I guess that you have written some sentences. ඔගලන්ට මම මේ words ටික explain කරන ගමන් පුළුවන් නම් ඔයාලා හදපු sentences ටික type කරලා මට එවන්න so then I can see I'll say whether those correct, whether these sentences are correct or wrong. ඒවා හරිද වැරදිද කියලා. පුළුවන් නම් type කරලා මට දාන්න chat box එකට so then I can read the words for you, okay? Right. So yes, we'll move on to the 22nd word. So 22nd words that goes meticulous, meticulous. And the meaning it says showing great attention to detail, very careful and precious. Okay, so meticulous කියලා කියන්නේ සුපරීක්ෂාකාරී කියන එකට. Oh my goodness, really good. Sentences අටක්ම හදලා මට එවලා තියෙනවා. Very, wow, really good. I would read. Technique on එවලා තියෙනවා sentences ටිකක්. I'm really happy and I'm going to read those sentences, right? The first sentence she made was, the first one, Disneyland was an astonishing place to visit. Riding a roller coaster is an adventurous experience. He is a candid person. It is crucial to study hard to pass the IELTS examination for me. She was deliberately blamed me. The currency rate is fluctuating day by day. A hypothetical research topic was approved by the group. She innovated a machine which can make water from seawater. Wow, that's excellent. Really, really good, Miss Veera Singh. Yeah, really good. So she made 8 sentences. So if others අනිත් කට්ටියත් පුළුවන් නම් try මට type කරලා එවන්න so then I can see whether your sentences are okay. Right, so meticulous, the 22nd word, and we'll move on to the 23rd word. 23rd, not worthy. Not worthy කියලා කියන්නේ වැදගත්. සැලකිය යුතු කියන එක. වැදගත් කියලා කියන්නේ important කියන එක නෙවෙයි. So වැදගත් කියන එකට අපි තව word එකක් ඉගෙන ගත්ත කලින් නේ. Yeah, තව word එකක් තිබ්බ කලින්. Yes, so not worthy. His contributions to the field are not worthy. So that's a really good word. Right. And then we'll move on to the 24th one that it says optimistic. Optimistic කියලා කියන්නේ සර්ව ශුභවාදී කියන word එක. සර්ව ශුභ. ඒ කියන්නේ හැම දෙයක්ම සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ හොඳටයි කියලා හිතන්නේ අපි. සර්ව ශුභවාදී. මොකක් හරි නරක දෙයක් වුණොත් ඒකේ හොඳ දෙයක් හොයනවා. ඔයාලා කියවලා තියෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ පොඩි කාලේ. If you're reading books, if you tend to read books, there's a book called Pollyanna. Pollyanna හැම වෙලේම මේ එයාගේ සෙල්ලමක් තියෙනවා. ඒ බුක් එකේ ලියනවා සතුට හොයන සෙල්ලම කියලා. එයා හැම දෙයකම සතුටක් හොයනවා. හැම මොකක් හරි ඉන්සිඩන්ට් එකක් සිද්ධ වෙච්ච ගමම ඒකේ සතුට හිතට පැත්තගෙන තමයි එයා කතා කරන්නේ. So Pollyanna ඇත්තටම optimistic character එකක්. If you read that story, so you would know about it, right? So optimistic. Despite the challenges, she remains optimistic about the outcome. Optimistic. Yeah, so now, good, right, optimistic. And then we'll move on to the 25th word, persuasive. Persuasive කියලා කියන්නේ අපි යම් කෙනෙක්ව මොන හරි දෙයකට පොළඹවනවා කියන එක. පොළඹවනවා, persuasive. Right? So his persuasive arguments convince the jury of his innocence. Persuasive. Okay? Right. The 26th word is prevalent. Prevalent කියලා කියන්නේ බහුලයි. ගොඩක් කියනවා. Widespread in a particular area at a particular time. Right? Come on, I don't know. Yeah. Yes, so the baby is in my hand. Right, prevalent. Prevalent means what? Bahula piligat කියන එක. Bahula piligat. Right? So social media use is prevalent among young people. So that's an example sentence. Prevalent. And the 27th word is proficient. Proficient. Proficient කියලා කියන්නේ විශේෂයෙන් සමත් කියන එක. කියන්නේ යම් මොනවාද කියන්නේ අපි special දෙයකට competent or skill in doing using something. කියන්නේ දක්ෂයි කියන එක වගේ proficient. So is proficient in several languages including French and Spanish. Clever කියනවා වගේ අපි කියන්නේ clever, she's clever in something කියලා. So without using the word clever, we can say proficient. She's proficient. I am proficient at maths. Likewise, proficient. Okay, and so we move on to the next word. What is that? Prospective. The 28th word is prospective. Prospective කියලා කියන්නේ likely to happen at a future date. යම් දෙයක් අනාගතයේ සිද්ධ විය හැකි කියන එකට. So he's a prospective candidate for the new job opening. Prospective. Yeah, right. And the 29th word is rational. Rational කියලා කියන්නේ බුද්ධිමත්. නැත්නම් අපි කියනවා තාර්කිකයි කියලා කියන එක. Right? So rational based on or accordance with reasons or logic. So logical. අපි කියන්නේ logic කියලා තාර්කිකයි කියන එක. Right. And the 30th word is resilient. අපි resilient කියලා කියනවා flexible කියන එකට. පහසුවෙන් යම් දෙයකට adapt වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එක එක දේවල් වලට වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියන එකට අපි කියනවා resilient කියලා. So able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions. And an example for resilient is like the community was resilient in the face of the natural disaster. Resilient. So we have discussed the words until the 30, but you have some more words here in the tudes up to 48. So I've included 48 words here. 48 words, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give all these other words as an homework, right? So what you have to do is if you can take a printout of this paper, that is really important. That's really crucial actually. So because you can learn the words and also you can make some example sentence by yourself. So when you come on next week, try to make some sentences and also to find the meanings of the words from the word 30 to 48. Okay, so I got some other sentences as well from Miss Prematilika. So I'm going to read that sentences. The last trip to Hantana was such an adventurous one. Good. They say the aura lights at night are astonishing. Each and every person in a company is beneficial in their own ways. Well done. The breathtaking view of the sunset made me feel over the moon. Her candid behavior lead her towards success. Global warming is a crucial problem to be addressed. Wow. Fantastic. I would deliberately help to any of my family members. They have a diverse range of artifacts. Her eloquent speech made her a remarkable person. Wow, that was excellent. That was excellent, Miss Prematilaka. Niyamai. Right? So, vocabulary කියලා කියන්නෙම ළමයි අපි vocabulary learn කරනවා කියලා කියන්නෙම it's not like learning a word because අපි word එකක් දැනගත්තා කියලා අපි ඒ word එකේ හැම දෙයක්ම දැනගත්ත වෙන්නේ. So learning a word means we have to know the spellings of that word, how to pronounce that word, where to use that word, and also how to put that word in a sentence. Right? Especially, so what we are doing is vocabulary learn කියලා ගොඩක් අය කරන්නේ අපි word එක ඉගෙන ගන්න එක විතරයි. But also at the same time we have to know how to use that word in a sentence. If not, though we have learned that word, if we don't know how to use that word in a sentence, that's useless because we don't know how to use it in a sentence. Right? So the usage of the word is really important when learning new vocabulary. So that's why this tude will help you a lot. So try to take a printout of this tude and try to make the sentences. Right? So දෙන්නෙක් එවලා තිබුණා මට sentences මම හිතන අනිත් අයත් sentences හදන්න ඇති කියලා එකක් දෙකක් හරි. So ඔයගලන්ට පුළුවන් මේ මුළු tude එක පිරෙන්නම sentences හදන්න. මොකද හදන්න ඒ words අපේ ඔළුවේ රැඳෙන ප්‍රමාණය වැඩි. දැන් ඔයාලට මතකද astonishing නේ, adventurous මතකයිනේ, diverse, crucial, conventional. So ඔය වචන අපි හැම වෙලේම මතකයේ තියාගන්නකොට and try කරන්න කතා කරනකොට ඒ words උත් අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්න අපේ කතාවේ දාලා. Right? So we have learned some vocabulary as well today, and also I gave you another homework, place description. So place එකක් ගැන describe කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක අපි චුට්ටක් කතා කරා under cue card questions. So next week එක එනකොට මම next week වල උගලන් එනකොට place එකක් ගැන cue card question එකකට answer කරන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ටිකක් වචන ටිකක් බෙහෙම බලාගෙන එන්න, and I'll give some time for you to participate for a mock test. So it will really helpful for you if you participate only for the mock test. It's not my exam. Mama tamai class එකේ ගොඩක් කතා කරන්නේ. It's not has to be me. So you all have to speak because you have to practice your own speaking here in the IELTS speaking class. So yeah, as the time is up, so I'm going to wind up the class for today. Right? Right. Thank you very much for guys, and hope to see you again on next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.